The 11th
Okay.
March, Rabbi Levitt Gemora.
So if you're interested in struggling today, Lou, you can join us. We're
Oh,
struggling over here with this Gemara.
okay. Sounds normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what's called Omel Torah, struggling.
Yep.
And we're definitely struggling over here. We are struggling. Okay, so you want to know where exact which words we're actually struggling about? Probably, right.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, so we started today. Uh, it's about a third of the way down on Tez Zayin Amid Aleph, and the first word in the line is Torach. So
Torah. I don't see Torah. Uh,
it's about it looks to be about 18 lines down from the top.
oh, I see it. I see it. Torah. Okay. So it's we're talking about the robber. Uh,
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. What is the Gemara trying to figure out now? We're trying to figure out what's the Gemara trying to figure out now.
right. I see Pshita. This section begins with the word Pshita.
Yeah, that's really where we started yesterday, and that probably would be a good idea to go back to that.
Okay, so Pshita, it is clear, Zabna, that if the robber sold the stolen land to a second purchaser, the robber sold the stolen land to a second purchaser, or saw, or bequeathed it to one of his sons, v'hayhav'a b'meistana, or he gave it as a gift to another and then purchased it from the legitimate owner. Oh, say so he stole it, and then he got rid of it in one of these ways, and then he purchased it legitimately.
Wait, so when did this happen? This happened. When did he? We're talking about three scenarios, and I want to know when did this scenario happen? Because it must. In other words, did this happen before he went to the real owner and bought it from him, or did it happen after that?
Before.
So before he went to the real owner, in addition to already having sold it to Jew number one, now the Gemara is saying Zavna, if he sold it to Jew number two, after sold it to Jew number one, he now sells it to Jew number two.
No, I don't think so. I think it says that he stole it, the robber, and he sold it. He sold it to number one, and then he purchased it legitimately from the owner.
That's the case that we've been talking about up until now.
Well, we didn't
That
we,
was the
we didn't say before that he purchased it, did we?
yeah. That was Shmuel's question to Rav. Chazer b'lokcha mibaylim rishonim.
Huh.
That's the bottom of Tesvav Amid base. Shmuel asked Rav, what's the din of this Goslin after he sold it to the purchaser? He then thereafter goes to the real owner and buys it from him. So he said in that case, Rab responded, Orle, ma mochalo rishon, the sheni, kol schus shetavo liado. That was on the bottom of Tesvav Amid base.
Right.
So over there we had seen that Rav was saying that the whole reason that the Goslin bought the property, in that case at least, was not in order to cheat out the purchaser that he sold it to, but to establish the property as the purchaser as the one who's acquired the property. Sort of like retroactively, the Goslin becomes the true owner of the property, and now he has the ability to sell it to the guy, even though he sold it to him when he didn't have the ability to sell it to him. Now he does have the ability to sell it to him. So we say that that was his intention, and therefore the lokeach becomes the owner of the property. That's what we said. That was the case that we talked about, and that's what we said up until now. And then we were talking about why did he do what he did? But in the bottom line, that's what his intention was. Now the Gemora is going with the Pshita. It sounds like we're building on that case.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's a footnote that says like you're saying. It says it is clear.
What's it say?
It is clear from the robber's actions that he is unconcerned with requiting the first purchaser's trust, since he conveyed the land to someone else before buying it from the owner. So it sounds like he sold it to Jew number one, and then he sold it again to Jew number two.
Right. Before he bought it from the true owner.
Right.
Himself.
And then he bought it from the true owner. It's also clear that he is indifferent to his possible disparagement as a robber, according to Ramban.
Yeah.
We do not assume that he purchased the land from its owner for the purpose of obtaining it for the first purchaser. Rashi indicates that if the robber conveyed the land to another after he purchased it from its owner, the conveyance does not retroactively invalidate the presumption that the robber desires to protect the rights of the first purchaser. Rambam, however, rules that even the post-purchase conveyance indicates that the robber was not interested in the rights of the first purchaser at the time he acquired the land from its owner.
I don't understand the English.
This is really tricky. We're wondering what his intention is towards the first purchaser. That's the theme of this footnote.
Right, exactly. In other words, in the original case, we said that his intention, the Goslin's intention, is yes to secure the ownership in the hands of the purchaser, because he right after he sold it to him, before he did anything else, he went and bought it from the true owner. But now we're saying that no, after he sold it to Jew number 2, he turned around and sold it to Jew. I'm sorry, scratch that. After he sold it to Jew number 1, he turned around and sold it to Jew number 2.
Right. That seems to be.
So
yeah.
That's what Zavna refers to over here. That's the way they're understanding what Zavna is. Yeah, that's, if you take a look in Rashi, Divra Maskel Zavna Ursa, that's what Rashi says. In Kodem Shelokach Min Habaylim, if before he purchased it himself from the true owner, Chazar Umachra Leish Acher, Levad Min Arishon. He turned around and sold it to Jew number 2. Before he bought it from the true owner, he turned around, after having sold it to Jew number 1, he turned around and sold it to Jew number 2. That's one scenario. Then Rashi says, oh, or, and that's the next word in the Gemora, orsa.
He bequeathed it.
Now, this is, doesn't bequeathing mean that the person passed away and the will says to give it to Ploni?
I think so, yeah. That's my understanding of what bequeath means.
So who is doing the bequeathing over here?
The Goslin.
But he doesn't own it. How can he bequeath it?
And how can he then purchase it after he bequeathed it? Yeah, maybe we're not understanding what bequeath means.
Oh, maybe. Okay. No. I think this is fine. My question's not a question at all. You know why?
No.
Because we could have asked the same exact question about the first thing that he did. What was the first thing that we said that he did? He sold it after sold it to Jew number 1. We're saying he sold it to Jew number 2. We could have said, wait a minute, he can't do that. He doesn't own the land. So we're saying, yeah, right, but that's what he did. Okay. And now we're saying that the second scenario is that Orsa, I guess Orsa is harder to understand because, he really doesn't own the land. So what we mean to say is, I guess, that he went through the actions of, bequeathing it means that the Goslin died. No?
Maybe,
I don't understand.
Maybe it means he put it in his will.
Put it in his will. Okay. He put it in his will to give it to Jew number 2. Okay.
To his son.
Oh, who then Jew number 2 is his son. Okay.
Well, no. Jew number 2 is a second purchaser. Let's not get confused here.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we can't call him Jew number 2, right? Oh, we'll call him son number 1.
Right.
Okay. That's what Rashi says. Oh, horisha le'echad bibanav. And then Rashi says, oh, or alternatively, a third case. You got to keep 3 different cases in your head now. This is called a juggling act. Oh, Yahava b'matana. Or he gave it as a present instead of selling it to a different Jew. He gave it as a present to Jew number 3. Okay, so there's these 3 cases. The Gemara says pshita. What's pshita? Lav leukma kamei lokeach kaboy. In these 3 cases, in these 3 scenarios, one thing we know, says the Gemara, he definitely did not do what he did, even when he purchases the property from the true owner at the end of the day, because that's going to be the next step. I think that's what the Gemara means. Even if he does that, we're in these 3 scenarios. We're not going to say that he did all of this when he bought the property, that he intended to secure the ownership interest of the property in the possession of Jew number one, the first one that he sold the property to.
That's what's pshita.
That's so okay. So now we got pshita. That was what we were. Okay.
Pshita that he doesn't care about Jew number one.
Yeah. Right. Which is not what we said in this first stage of this Gemora when we didn't have these three scenarios added on to the original scenario.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, it's time now. And we'll see.
Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, everybody.
Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.
Rabbi, on Thursday,
Yeah.
are we having a normal day? It's a fast day.
Thursday is the Tinus. Oh, right. The Tinus. Tinus Esther. I don't see why not. I think that I think it would be a good idea to learn Torah on the Tinus.
Okay, I think that's fine.
I'm not planning on going to the zoo.
Now, on
Okay.
Friday is the Megillah reading, and Rabbi first suggested that he wants to learn from 10 to 11. Do you want to learn from 11 to 12, or do you want to not learn, or do you want to learn more than that?
Oh.
He's
Yeah, that
that
doesn't really work. That's a little bit too late on Friday.
Should we
That's
just
not going to work. Yeah. Okay, so he got first dibs.
yeah? Okay, and then Sunday is the Matanos Levinim, and I'm sorry, is Mishloach Manos and the feast. So
Purim feast. Yes.
my wife is shaking her hand that we shouldn't do anything that day.
Yeah, that's hard. That'll be hard. Yeah.
All right, so we won't do anything on Friday. We won't do anything on Sunday.
I mean, at the very yeah, because the wives need help a lot on that day, especially if you're having the Suda Bayou
Right,
feast.
we are. We're having guests, and we might have a lot of guests.
Oh wow. Oh boy. Okay. So good luck.
Okay, thank you so much. Purim Sameach.
Purim Sameach.
We'll see you tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Amen.